Hello everyone, it's Danzen here. We continue to the day two. Yesterday we are talking about the write your first C# code, but for now, today we will be going to discuss or learn about the store and retrieve data using literal and variable values in C#. So this one is a bit different, and of course it's more complicated than before, because before we are just have to type hello world, and also we did some syntax understanding in C#, and also knowing to differentiate between console write line and write, because this is important. Write line append new line after the output. But let's continue to the next unit, to the next learning. Let's go to the next link. I haven't done this yet. Let's just start the timer of Pomodoro like before, like yesterday. Here I have 60 minutes starting from now. Wait a moment. Okay, starting from now. Use data in your application. Store and retrieve data using literal and variable values in C#. So this one is a bit longer than yesterday. Yesterday is just below 30 minutes, and it has around 7 units or 8 units. Wait, let's see. Yeah, 7 units, 27 minutes. But now it's like double of the time, almost. Yeah, but that's fine. I am willing to do. Okay, let's just read the section first. What is the objective of this part of the learning? Use data in your application by creating literal values and variable values of different data types. Learning objective. Create literal values for 5 basic data types. I think there are data types like in the JavaScript, which are integer, string, I think float, boolean, and something else maybe. There should be more than 5, but the basic in this part of learning, it will introduce the common one that usually you need to understand it before anything else. And then the second point is declare and initialize variables. So we come to the variable. If you have pursue the high school, you should be knowing what is variable in mathematics, like x and y, x, same x, and else. Okay. Retrieve and set values in variables. The fourth point is allow the compiler to determine the data type for your variable when initializing. prerequisites must understand basic C# syntax rules. Checklist, I did it yesterday. The syntax means you should be knowing, you should not miss like the semicolon, don't miss it, the capital of the syntax, the capital of the word, and forget like console C with capital or C without capital is very important, because if you get wrong syntax, the compiler will not working. So syntax is important, and then the period, the dot, you should be using that instead of comma, and then don't forget, don't use the wrong syntax for the operator like equivalent or operator like multiplication, addition, subtraction. Don't use any other syntax in outside of the guidelines. So just follow the guidelines and you'll be fine. Also, I think I did put the music yesterday. I think it's very annoying for my audience, so I turn it off, so my voice will be clearly heard. Okay, let's enter the introduction. Many of the applications that you'll build in C# will require you to work with data. Sometimes that data will be hard-coded in your application. Hard-coded values are values that are constant and unchanged throughout the execution of the program. For example, you may need to print a message to the user. When some operation succeeds, a success message will likely be the same every time the application is executed. These hard-coded values can also be called a constant or a literal value. So in Pascal programming language, I learned to differentiate between const and var, constant and variable. It will be different because constant is used like P in mathematics, like 3.14, that should be constant. And if you need constant integer, you will need constant, or we could say literal value. This is different than variable, which variable you can change it, but the literal value you cannot change it, and it's remain the same entire time. And then suppose you want to display a formatted message to the end user containing different types of data. Sorry. The message will include hard-coded strings combined with information your app collects from the user. Wait. Yeah, so there are many types of data, like I said before, but let's just read this for now, because we will elaborate it more and more in the next units. To display a formatted message, you'll need to create both hard-coded values and define variables that can store data of a certain type, whether numeric, alphanumeric, and so on. In this module, you will create literal values that contain different data types. You will create variables that can hold certain data types, set those variables with a value, then retrieve those values later in code. And finally, you will learn how you can simplify your code by allowing the compiler to shoulder some of the work. By the end of this module, you will be able to create literal values and store and retrieve data in variables. Okay, I see. We will learn many types of data. It must be entertaining. It must be fun. So the prerequisite, you must be understand basic C# syntax rules, which is already learned in the first part, and must understand how to use console write line, or you can actually differentiate between console write line and console write, which console write line appends new line, and then beginner level experience with a net editor. That means you know what is compiler, you know how to press a green button, and how you know how to read output, know how to debugging error, and so on. And then we come to the unit 2 exercise, print literal values. In this exercise, you will print message containing other types of data. And learn why data types are so important in C#. Okay, what is literal value? Literal value is constant. This is the keyword. It's constant value that never changes. It's just like p in mathematics 3.14. 3.14. Okay, previously you displayed a literal string to the output console. In other words, you literally wanted the string of alphanumeric characters HELLO and so on displayed in the output console. Okay, use the string. Oh, I see. Yesterday we did already the literal string because we don't use any variables, but we immediately use the console write line, so it's categorized as a literal value or constant value. Use the string data types whenever you have alphanumeric words, phrases, or data for presentation, not calculation. Okay, it's for presentation. It's purely for presentation because calculation will go to integer, or maybe boolean if you want to evaluation. What other kinds of literal data can you print to output? So exercise, print different literal data types. This is the explanation, and we go to what is the type of data types. Different of data types. There are many data types in C#, but as you are getting started, you only need to know about 5 or 6 data types since they cover most scenarios. Let's display a literal instance of data types to output. Note, okay, you may notice as you begin to work in the code window that it colors certain syntax in different colors to indicate keyword, operator, data types, and more. So in the net editor here, it must be different color of syntax, different color of keyword, operator, data types. It helps you a lot to learn and differentiate between them. Thanks to AI. Begin to take notice of the colors. It can help you spot syntax errors as you enter characters and can help you understand the code more effectively. Not even in net editor, but in like VS Code, you will see different colors that is usually to help you. Basically, it's purely to help you to differentiate like I said before, keyword, operator, data types. Okay, use character literals if you only want a single alphanumeric characters printed to screen. So the key point is single alphanumeric character. I think you could create a char literal by surrounding one alphanumeric character in single quotes. The term character is short for character in C#. This data type is officially named char, but frequently referred to as a character. At the following line of code in the code editor, so console right line, you still need, I see, if it's string, that means you should use the double quotation mark, but for character you should be using single quotation mark. It helps you to differentiate that, but I think it's not more dynamic than JavaScript, which I think I remember that you can use double quotation mark for single quotation mark for string as well, or maybe in Python, I forgot. Okay, the second one is observe the code you enter. Notice that the letter P is surrounded with single quotation mark, P single quotes, create a character literal. Okay. Recall that using double quotation marks creates a string data types. Let me understand this section first. Press the green run button to run your code. You should see the following result. Oh, let's just type this. I don't want to put B, but X. Let's say X. Don't forget semicolon, and the output will be X. This is character because you use the single quotation mark, but actually it is the same like string. But string usually you use more than 2 characters, and it must be double quotation mark. So this is string. I still don't know what is the different purpose. Character is for one character. Character is one for one alphanumeric. Okay, if you enter the following code, console right line in hello world, you will get the following error. Okay, let's check this out. See, this is error. Why this is error? Because hello world in the single quotation mark will not work. Single quotation mark is only work if you want to put character data types, not string. The difference is just the quotation mark. How many quotation mark are there? Okay, notice the single quotation mark surrounding hello world. When you use single quotation mark, the C# compiler expects a single character, so the single quotation mark expectation is only one character, not more than 2 or maybe 3. Only one character is allowed in this parenthesis. Just like string data type, you use char whenever you have single alphanumeric character for representation, not calculation. See, the main point is actually this one. The string is just like the string data type, but it's single quotation mark. The difference is just that. But string can be like character. I mean, string can only be one character. I did that before, so you should be understand that. Okay, next to the next data types, which is integer literals. If you want to display a numerical whole number, no fraction, whole number, no fraction. This is integer value. In the output console, you can use an integer literal. The term integer is short for integer, which you may recognize from studying math. In C#, this data type is officially named integer, but frequently referred to as integer. And int literal requires no other operators like the string or char. Add the following line of code in the code editor. Okay. Don't forget, there is no quotation mark there, no single quotation mark or double quotation mark there. So it's purely without any operator. Just follow the code in the example. Don't forget semicolon. The output will be the same. It looks like a string, but actually, if this have other operator, it actually do the calculation. But for now, it's just like presentation. It's presentation just like string, because you don't have any operator like addition, subtraction, multiplication, or other operators. Okay, next is floating points literals. This one is interesting because the keyword is contain decimal. It's just like integer but contain a decimal. For example, 3.14159. Like I said before, C# support 3 data types to represent decimal number: float, double, decimal. But I prefer use double in JavaScript or Pascal because it's more neat, it's more simple. Float is used if you want to do a lot of decimal numbers, but that's your choice basically. So its type supports varying degrees of precision. So the keyword here is precision. Float type precision. Float is about 6 to 9 digits with double 15 to 17 digits. I see. Decimal. I think it's rarely to use decimal because it's too many of digits. I don't know it will impact the CPU or no. Okay, here precision reflects the number of digits past the decimal that are accurate. Add the following line of code in the code editor, console write line. Let's just type this one. What will be the output? The output, oh, I see, the F is not typed in the output. I don't know why. Let's see the explanation. To create a float literal, append the letter F. Oh, this one is new for me. I haven't learned this yet in other programming language. In this context, the F is called literal suffix. The literal suffix tells the compiler you wish to work with a value of float type. So F is for float. You can use either a lowercase f or uppercase, so it's not case sensitive. I think it's good one because you don't need to worry about it as a literal suffix for float. Okay. Notice that the float data type is the least precise, so it's best to use this data type for fixed fractional values to avoid unexpected computation errors. Yeah, I think float is the best choice for a beginner. I mean, if you want a simple thing, not complicated one. And then press the green button to run your code. Yes, I did it. Oh, I haven't done this yet. Let's just copy. Oh, to create a double literal, just enter a decimal number to compile default. It's default, I think, with that INF suffix in the end of the line, in the end of the, what is it? In the end of this number. That number is entered without a literal suffix. So for double, you don't need any suffix to put in. Press the green button to run. You should be following the output windows. Yes, I see there, here. At the following line of code in the code editor, console write line 12.39816 M, the new one. It's decimal. It has more digits in the precision. To create a decimal literal, append the letter M after the number. In this context, the M is called a literal suffix, just like F float, but M is for decimal. The literal suffix tells the compiler you wish to work with a value of decimal type. You can use either a lowercase or uppercase. Is just the same, exactly the same like float. Press the green button to run your code. Let's just copy this one because it's literally the same thing. See, it will output the same without M. Yes, boolean. Let's next to the boolean. If you want to print a value representing either true or false, you could use a bool literal. The term bool is short for boolean. In C#, they are officially referred to as bool, but often developers use the term boolean at the following lines of code in the code editor: console write line true, console write line false. What is boolean? Boolean in my mind is about true or false, 1 or 0, or on or off, and so on. First, so it must be positive and negative. That's boolean, and that's how CPU works. There are many millions of switches which on and off. That's how it works. And then press the green run button to run your code. You should see the following result in the output console. Let's just type this. I think I have to type this. Yes. Wait. Is this capital sensitive? Because in this input I don't put the T is capital, but in output the T is capital. Is it matter? I think it's because boolean Boolean fixed output of the Boolean fixed output is T with capital, I think. So let's try through. Will it result in error? Oh, I see. The result is error. Maybe this is just a built-in output there, I think. Okay, the bool literals represent the idea of truth and falsehood. You will use bool values extensively when you start to add decision logic to your application. Okay. So Boolean, especially the function is for decision logic. For your application, you will evaluate expression to see whether the expression is true or false. I mostly use Boolean in JavaScript or Pascal. You need to use more logic, and there are many theory about logic, like logic gates, which is using the true or false, like not gate, or gate, XOR gate, XNOR gate, not gate, and others. There are many concepts about it. So this is just the introduction. It looks very simple for now, but it must be complicated. I mean, it will be complicated in the middle, but if you try to learn more and more, you will be familiar with it. Just learn your logic, and you will be good. Why emphasize data types? Data types play a central role in C#. In fact, the emphasis on data type is one of the key distinguishing feature of C# compared to other language like JavaScript. I think in JavaScript there is no something like this. Or Python. In Python, you just need to put any input without having to set the data types at the first place, because they use automatically. I don't know the concept, but for example, if you put 1 2 3, the data will be automatically become integer without you having to put integer data types. That's the difference between C#. That's why I love C#, but Python I love as well. Data types define capabilities. Oh, I see. This is the purpose. The designer of C# believe they can help developer avoid common software bugs by enforcing data types. You will see this concept unfold as you learn more about C#. Data types define capabilities. Earlier, you saw the string and strings and chars are used for presentation, not calculation. Yes, exactly. If you need to perform a mathematical operation on numeric values, you should use an integer or a decimal. If you have data that is used for presentation or text manipulation, you should use a string or char data type. Calculation and text manipulation or presentation. Okay. Suppose you needed to collect data from a user like a phone number. Wait, phone number is not used for calculation, but I think it's still considered as string. Depending on the country region where you live, the data may consist of numeric characters. But let me pause this. Okay, I'm back. Where is the last part I read? Okay, I think this one. Suppose you, yeah, until here. Suppose you needed to collect data from user like phone number depending on the country region where you live. The data may consist of numeric characters, however, since you really perform mathematical calculation on phone number and postal codes, you should prefer to use a string data types when working with them. Yes, I said it's string, it's considered as string because what? It's not about calculation, it's just exactly the same function like string, like alphanumerics. The same can be said of bool. If you need to work with the words true and false in your application, you will use a string. However, if you need to work with the concept of true or false when performing an evaluation, wait. Okay. I actually forgot the timer. However, if you need to work with the concept of true, it's important to know that these values may look like their string literal equivalent. In other words, you may think these statements are the same. Basically the same output for presentation purpose, but for the functionality it will be different, like this one. 1 2 3, the output will be the same, but the function, this is considered as string, this is considered as integer. This one you cannot use it for any calculation in the future, but for this one integer you can use it for calculation, like if you want to multiply it with any numbers in the future. Let's see this one, the true, but it's under the double quotation mark, it's considered as string, it cannot be used for any logic decision. So it's useless, it's just for presentation. But this one, it's the function is for decision logic, for it's purely for boolean. Unlike this is just the presentation, and this has the functionality. Let's just copy this and see. 1 2 3 1 2 3 true. However, it's only the display output that appear to be similar. The fact is that the kind of things you can do with the underlying in or pull will be different than their string equivalent. I see there. This is like I said before. The main takeaway, so recap. The main takeaway is that there are many data types, but you will be focused on just a few for now, which there are 5. String, char, integer, decimal, bool, string for words, phrases, or any alphanumeric data for presentation, not calculation. The keyword is here. Char for a single alphanumeric characters, basically just like string, but with only one character and single quotation mark, not double quotation mark. And the third one is integer for a whole number without any fraction or decimal. Decimal for a number with a fractional component, basically just like integer but with decimal. Bool or boolean for a true or false value, basically for evaluating the logic, like logic gates, decision, and others. I think we can go to the next unit, declare variables, the third unit. Declare variables. In the previous unit, we are talking about literal, but now is variable, which the keyword is temporary. Literal is literally a hard-coded value. Hard-coded values. Oh, I see. I wasn't understand what is hard code, but now I think I understand what is hard code. It's literal. It's about literal code or constant value. Hard-coded values are values that are constant and unchanged throughout the execution of the program. However, most applications really require you to work with a value that you don't know how much about ahead of time. In other words, you'll need to work with data that comes from user, from files, or from across the network. In other words, you will need to work with the user. Okay, when you need to work with data that isn't hard-coded, you will declare a variable. Is it called soft code? I don't know. What is a variable? Variable is a container, the keyword here, for storing a type of value. Variables are important because their value can change or vary, and very dynamic. For programming, if you are beginner, but not just beginner, if you're professional too, you will be more using variable more. Okay, throughout the execution of a program, variables can be assigned, read, and change. You use variable to store values that you intend to use in your code. Basically, it's purpose for store values. Variable. In mathematics, I think you have already learned about variables, like x equivalent to 5, and the 5 will be stored in the x variable. So that is called variable. A variable name is a human-friendly label that compiler assigned to a memory address. The CPU name is memory address. If you learn about the computer machine, when you want to store or change a value in that memory address, or whenever you want to retrieve the stored value, you just use the variable name you created. Basically just recall the variable. Declare variable. To create a new variable, you must first declare the data type of the variable and then give it a name. Like this. Yeah, no output because I haven't put any any data in the first name. String. Yeah, this is the string, but what is the output? What is the input? There is no input inside the double quotation mark because this is string. You must first put any alphanumeric in the first name as an input, so the output will be not output. From now on, this variable can only hold string values. Okay, in the future this will be used for string, but it never can be used for integer because at the first place you put it as a string, as a data types. But if you want to change to other data types such as integer, it's fine. You can choose any name as long as it adheres to a few C# syntax rules for naming variable. Naming syntax. Variable name, rules, and convention. We will see the rules for naming. Is this capital sensitive? Can you do like this? Can you do comma? Or can you do like this? Is it fine? We will see. A software developer once famously said the hardest part of software development is naming things. Not only does the name of a variable have to follow certain syntax rules, it should also here. If you want a clean code, not only does the name of a variable have to follow certain syntax rules, it should also be used to make the code more human readable and understandable. This is what programming is. You should be knowing, you should be understand what your code means, not just at least I have followed the syntax. And after that, after a year, you don't understand any single code that you have written in the back year. That's not programming. That's not a clean code. That's dirty code. That's a lot to ask of one line of code. Here's a few important considerations about variable names. Variable names can contain alphanumeric characters and the underscore character. You can do like this. Okay, no errors. Special character like the hash symbol. So I think this is fine as well. Yeah, also known as the number symbol or pound symbol or dollar symbol are not allowed. Let's test if dollar symbol will be result an error. Wait, let's test it later. Variable names must with dollar symbol are not allowed. Dollar is not allowed. Variable name must begin with an alphabetical letter or an underscore, not a number. Okay, underscore, not a number. What if I want to put a number here? No output because I haven't put any input. If I put input inside the double quotation mark with parentheses, the error will be seen in here. For now, it still remains the same, which is no output because I haven't put any input here. Variable names must not be C# keyword. For example, you cannot use the following. I want to test this actually. First name is, but I haven't reached this lesson. Okay, I will just continue. Variable names must not be C# keyword. For example, you cannot use the following variable declaration: decimal, string. Like string. You cannot use that again because it's considered as data types, and you're not allowed to copy and paste exactly the same like any built-in data types in C#. There are coding conventions that help keep variables readable and easy to identify. As you develop larger applications, this coding convention can help you keep track of variables among other tags. There are some coding convention. What is coding convention? Coding convention, a way in which something is usually done, especially within a particular area or activity. Coding with a way something. Okay, variable names will use camel case. I think I have heard camel case. This one is camel case, which is a style of writing use a lowercase letter at the beginning. Here, F should be lowercase. Wait. Usually, especially within a particular area, is usually, but not have to. The first word and an uppercase letter at the beginning of its subsequent word. For example, string. This is camel case. This is camel case. The first one is lower. Okay, the next word should be capital on their first letter, C and C. Variable names will begin with an alphabetical letter. Developer use the underscore for a special purpose, so try to not use that for now. Alphabetical letter, developer use the underscore. Wait, my concentration. 10 minutes and we will take a break. Variable names should begin with an alphabetical letter. Developers use the underscore for a special purpose, so try to not use that for now. Because you are beginner, try not to use underscore. Variable names should be descriptive and meaningful in your application. Choose a name for your variable that represents the kind of data it will hold. Descriptive, this is the keyword. Also meaningful. So back to this one. It should also be used to make the code more human readable, understandable. That is programming like what I said. That should be descriptive and meaningful, because it will help you a lot in the future if you want to read back of your code. Okay, choose a name for your variables that represent the kind of data it will hold. Variable name should be one or more entire words appended together. Don't use contraction or abbreviation because the name of the variable and with the variable should be one or more entire words appended together. Don't use contraction or abbreviation because the name of variable and therefore its purpose may be unclear to other for writing in your code. Variable names should not include the data types of variable. You might see some advice to use a style like string value that is no longer current. Yeah, because what is the purpose for this? When you have already data types in the left of the word, it's useless to put str. I know you want to emphasize this value is string, but it's useless. It's useless basically. The example string first name follow all this rule and convention, assuming you want to use this variable to store data that represent someone's first name. Okay, so the first thing it's readable first name. This is a good string. This is a good variable because with these short words you can already understand what is the meaning. The purpose is you want to use this variable to store data that represents someone first name. I think almost everyone can understand this variable without any description. That's how programming works. You need a very readable variable and always has some meaning for your best in the future. And then variable name example. Here's a few examples of variable declaration using the data types you learned about this far. So there are char, user option, integer, game score, decimal particles per million, pool processed customer. All of this has the same characteristic. Is camel case. See, the beginning of the letter is lowercase. All of them is all lowercase, and then usually they have a meaning like user option. That means option that user can choose. And then game score. Everyone know this. Everyone almost know this one. If you play Mario Bros, you will know what is this variable game score. Like 100 score, 200 score, and so on. Particles per millions. This is physics or chemistry. I know that. And then the boolean processed customer. It's like, is this customer already processed or no? True or false? So don't forget to use descriptive variable and always has a meaning, so other people or for you in the future you can understand it easily without any complicated issue. Okay, so we come to the recap. Here's what you have learned so far about variables. Variables are temporary values you store in the computer memory. Okay, computer memory, I think RAM, yeah, RAM. Unlike the literal, which is permanent values or constant values. Before you can use a variable, you have to declare it. This is declaration. To declare a variable, you first select a data type for the kind of data you want to store. And there are 5 data types, 5 basic data types that we have learned before. And then give the variable a name that follows the rules. Also readable and easily to understand. Now that you know how to declare a variable, let's learn how to set, retrieve, and initialize the value of variable. How to set, how to retrieve, and how to initialize. Okay. Okay, almost there to break, but let's just continue a little bit of this part. There are still many. That's fine. Exercise setting and getting values from variables. Because variables are temporary storage container for data, they are meant to be written to and read from. You will get a chance to do both in the following exercise. So you don't just read, you don't just write it and then done. No, you should read or make it until it has output, until it has progression. So working with variable. In this exercise, we'll declare a variable, assign it a value, retrieve its value, and more. Create your first variable, select all the code in the net editor and press delete or backspace to select all. Where is select all? No, select all. Let's just Control A and delete. Enter the following code in the code editor. String first name. I think I don't need to delete that. That's actually the same. First name Bob. Okay, Bob. To declare a variable, you enter the data type you want to use followed by a name for the variable. To assign a value to a variable, use the assignment operator, which is a single equals character or equivalent. This is the new one, the new operator. This operator is used to assign any value. So you don't need to use a parenthesis here, but you use assignment operator. This is a assignment, a bit different from mathematics that you know. This is considered as assignment operator. Single equals character equals. Okay, see? Assigning operator is also referred to as setting the variable, or simply a set operation. We can say set. First name variable is set to Bob. So first name is equal Bob as a string. So if we press the green button, it will output. No output. Oh, I see, because there is no console write. There is no method that can bring this line to the output. No console write line, so no output. Okay. Improperly assign a value to a variable. It's important to notice that assignment happens from right to left. In other words, the C# compiler must first understand the values on the right side. Right to left. right to left. Okay, in other words, the caesar must first understand the value on the right side of the assignment operator, then it can perform the assignment to the variable on the. If you reverse the order, you will confess the caesar compiler. I think I passed the time a little more, and we will break. Modify the code you wrote to match the following code. String first name, pop first name. Oh, the value must be on the right side. This is the keyword. The right side of the assignment operator that it can perform. So if we do like this, it will result no output. Error. Okay, because values must be on the right side of the assignment operator. Now run the code, you will see the following error in the output console. Yeah, I see this. No. Okay, yes. Okay, let's take a break for now. 10 minutes from now. Okay, I'm back from the break of 10 minutes. Let's continue. Where is my last part? I think this one. Probably assign a value of the incorrect data type to the variables. You learn that C# was designed to enforce the types when you are working with variables. Enforcing types means, what is enforcing types? You cannot assign a value of one data type to a variable declared to hold a different data types. I see. Modify the code you wrote to match the following code. Integer first name pop. This will be an error because integer means you have to put input inside of this first name data type. Inside this first name variable, numbers, not alphanumeric like pop. It will result in error because pop is not integer, but pop should be a string. So that's why the result will be an error. Now run the code, you'll see the following error in the output console. Let's see. See, error. Integer should be numbers 1 2 3. Wait, oh, the double quotation mark, I forgot. Yes, because I haven't put console write line. What if I put the console write first name? See, the output will be exactly the same like first name variable. The error message, let's continue. The error message hints at what the C# compiler tries to do behind the scenes. It tried to implicit. I forgot the timer. It tried to implicitly convert the string pop to be an integer value. However, that is impossible. Even so, C# tried to do the conversion but failed since there is no numeric equivalent for the word pop. Pop is whole, not numbers, but whole alphanumeric or alphabets. You will learn more about implicit and explicit type conversion later. For now, just remember what is implicit and explicit type conversion. I think like string will be converted to integer or vice versa. Integer will be converted to boolean. Boolean will be converted to any other data types and so on. For now, just remember that a variable can only hold values matching its specified data types. Okay. Retrieve, get or bring something back, regain or recall. I think a value you store in the variable. To retrieve a value from a variable, you just use the name of the variable. This example will set a variable values, then retrieve that value and display it in the console. Value from why did I just put this line before this part, before this section? But that's okay, that's fine. This example will set a variable values, then retrieve the value and display it in console. Modify the code you wrote to match the following code. String. Okay, let's change this integer to string. First name equal to Bob, and don't forget the console write line. I think why it's write line, not right, because for the future, if you want to put another write line or write, it will append new line and not the same line, and it will help you a lot easier. Now run the code, you'll see the following result in the output console. Yes, Bob is the result. Retrieving a value from a variable is also referred to as getting the variable, or simply a get operation. So getting the variable, get operation. As you write lines of code, you will see the compiler is checking your code and spotting possible mistakes. No mistake in this net editor. Now that you're familiar with different types, the compiler is critical to help you get code correct sooner. Though now that you are familiar with different types of errors, you can quickly fix mistakes with the help of the compiler's error message. So what if I put this error gs cannot implicitly convert type string to integer? Because this is string, why you put the types is integer at the first place? It has description for this error. It helps me a lot. So that's how you read the code. How you read the errors message for you to fix the error immediately. It will be the string. Yeah, Bob. You can reuse and reassign the variable as many times as you want. This example illustrates that idea. Modify the code you wrote to match the following code. String first name equal Bob, console write line. Oh, you can reassign again and again. First name. So there are 4 first name where they all have different values, but the variables are the same. So let's just Problem Isabella Yasmin. I think I know how this works. Okay, let's now run the code. You will see the following result in the output console. Yes, I did that. First name. The first variable is set to Bob as the first values of first name variable, but the second one, it has different value, which is the newest one. And it will result a different display, different output every time you set a new value. On the third place, on the third line, on the line 6, the first name variable is equal to Isabella. That means on the seventh line, the display will be Isabella, because the newest value in the first name variable is Isabella, as well as Yasmin. Now initialize the variable. You must set a variable to a value before you can get a value from the variable, otherwise you will see an error. Modify the code you wrote to match the following code: string, first name, console write line, first name. Okay. Let's just copy this. Now run the code, you will see the following result in the output console. Until there, where do you think is the error? String, first name, console, write line, first name. Use of unassigned local variable first name. Unassigned, this is the key. You can read the error and you can understand where is the mistake, where is the error. Unassigned. This first name has no any assigned value in the right place. It should have assigned. It should have be assigned like first name equal Bob. You can do like this. Or you can do in the second line like this if you don't want to be complicated, like this. Wait, why this is an error? Oh, semicolon. Yeah, don't forget that. Yes, exactly. To avoid the possibility of an unassigned local variable, it is recommended that you set the value as soon as possible after you declare it. In fact, you can perform both the declaration and setting the value of the variable in one line of code. This technique is called initializing the variable. Set the value as soon as possible. Don't forget that. Yeah. Always set this variable immediately if you forget, but if you want to save it for later, I think it's better you just make it as a command line like this. It's good for saving the code later if you want to use it in the future. Modify the code you wrote to match the following code. Okay, pop. Now run the code. Okay, recap. Here's what you've learned about working with variables so far. You must set a value to a variable before you can get a value from a variable. Yes. That means you have to assign value first. This is value. If not, then it will result in error. Or if you do like this, it will be result in error because this variable is unassigned. The second one, you can initialize a variable by assigning a value to the variable at the point of declaration. Wait, you can. Assignment happens from right to left. So right to left. Right will be assigned to the left, which is a first name. So first name equal Bob. You use a single equal character as the assignment operator. Single equals. This is single equals. I think there are double equal or triple equals in the future. I still don't have any clue, but I see some other programming language such as Pascal and JavaScript use double equals character. Maybe they have different function. To retrieve the value from the variable, you merely use the variable names. Okay, this is important. If you already set the variable, you should be using this name, the variable name instead this one, because it will help you a lot in the future whenever you want to use the variable. It's useless if you use Bob immediately in here. I know it will be the output will be the same, like if you put first name as the output in the right line, but this variable will be useless because you don't use it. You just immediately skip this one and you go immediately to this. So what is the purpose of this if you just go immediately to Bob? Well, I can say that variable it have you a lot to manage your code, especially about clean code and very descriptive name, so almost everyone can understand. If we just use it without it, it will be harder because if there are the situation, if there are like 100 names, Bob, Alex, telephone, TV, car, there are a lot of strings, but there is no variable. You'll be exhausted because there are too many of them and you cannot manage it really easily. But with variable, you have you will be helped easily and you can manage them easily. I hope you know what I mean. Okay, let's continue. There are still 6 minutes. Okay. Declare implicitly type local variable. The C# compiler works behind the scenes to assist assess you as you write your code. It can infer your variable's data type by its initialized value. In this unit, you'll learn about this feature called implicity types local variables. This is implicity. Okay, I see. What are implicity type local variable? An implicity type local variable is created by using the var keyword followed by a variable initialization. For example, variable message equal to hello world. In this example, a string variable was created using the var keyword instead of the string keyword. The var keyword tells the C# compiler that the data type is implied by the assigned value. After the type is implied, the variable acts the same as if the actual data type had been used to declare it. The variable keyword is used to save on keystroke when types are lengthy or when the type is obvious from the context. In the example, variable message hello world, because the variable message is immediately set to the string value hello world, the C# compiler understands the intent and treats every one instance of message as an instance of type string. In fact, the message variable is typed to be a string and can never be changed. For example, consider the following code for message hello world message. Okay, if you run this code, you will see the following error message. Let's check it out. Why is there an error here? Cannot implicitly convert type decimal to string. So this one is decimal. Wait. Let me understand this section first. What is the difference between var and string? Note: other programming languages use the var keyword differently. In C#, variables are assigned a type by compiler regardless of whether you use the actual data type name or allow the compiler to imply the data type. In other words, the type is locked in at the time of declaration and therefore will never be able to hold values of different data type. Okay, keyword, use the var keyword like Pascal. Pascal usually used in this is, I think var is on par with const, but var is dynamic but const is constant. Variables are assigned a type by the compiler. Variable using the var keyword must be initialized. It's important to understand the var keyword is dependent on the value you to use the. Okay, what if I reverse this? So this one is and the second one is hello world. String to decimal. Oh, string. Okay. I see there. Bob. Oh, I see. So the variable is multi-function, multi-data types. But the first time you set a value, it actually set the data types at the first place. For example, if you set this variable, this message variable as a pop value with a double quotation mark at the first place, the data types will be automatically set to string. But if you set this to numbers such as 546, the result of this data type will be automatically becomes integer. Yes, for 546. That's it. Why use the for keyword? The for keyword has been widely adopted in the C# community. It's like that if you look at a code example in a book or online, you will see the for keyword used instead of the actual data type name. Okay, I just actually want to know the reason why they not use the actual data names, but just for it's just like Python, that it's very dynamic data types, that every data type is possible to be inputted. So it's important to understand its usage. The for keywords has an important use in C#. Many times the type of variable is obvious from its initialization. In those cases, it's simpler to use the for keyword. The for keyword can also be useful when planning the code for an application. When you begin developing code for a task, you may not immediately know what data types to use. Using for can help you to develop your solution more dynamically. As you get started, it is recommended that you continue to use the actual data type name when you declare variable until you become more comfortable working with code. Oh, if you are beginner, just use the actual data types name when you declare variable until you become more. So it's a choice, basically it's an option for you. You can use variable, it's just like 4-in-1. Okay, basically, where is my pen? Variable for is just like 4-in-1 of many data types. There are many data types. We know about string before. String is for 1 to 3, any numbers. This is not numbers. Sorry, my concentration is. String is for alphanumeric alphabets like ABC. Okay, now integer. We know integer is for numbers. And then we know there is character. Character is almost the same functionality as string, but maybe let's just delete this. I think I have some mistake there. String is like hello, like eat, like car, age, but character is single alphabet, single alphanumeric, D, Z, and we got float, or float is the same like integer, but there is fractional decimal on it, like 3. This is P, or we can call it P. Float and H. Oh yeah, single. Another one is Boolean. Bool is just true or false. True and false. This is Boolean. Different concept from other data types. It usually used for logic decision. So that's it. Let's back to the presentation. Our presentation. Okay. Using the data analytical variable will help you be purposeful as you write your code. Recap. Here's what you have learned about the var keyword so far. The variable keyword tells the compiler to invert the data types of the variable based on the value it is initialized to. I mean, I can say the first value that you initialize, that's what the data types of the variable will become to. Like 5, 4, 6, this variable will immediately become integer. If this is pop with double quotation mark, the variable will become immediately string. I think I can make another 30 minutes. You will likely see the variable keyword as you read the other people's code. However, you should use the data types when possible. You will actually complete the challenge. In the challenge, you will write code that will combine literal variable values into a single message. You'll write code that combine literal and variable. Oh, so literal and variables combination or separation, you can differentiate it in this unit. Alright, the challenge is display literal and variable values. Select all the code in the net editor and select delete backspace key to delete it all. The second point is store the following values in the variables. So the output will be pop334.4. These variables shall be given names that reflect their purpose. Make sure you select the correct data type for each of the variable based on the type of data it will hold. Finally, you will combine the variable with a literal string passed into the serial message serial. So there will be at least 3 console, right? Why not just right line, bro? Write code the internet to display the following message. Oh, I see. I thought I have to display the output exactly the same like this. Okay, so I just have to put write only, but with a lot of write, I think. So the output should be like this. Hello Bob, you have 3 messages in your inbox. The temperature is 34.4. No matter how you do it, your code should produce the specified output. Whether you get stuck and need to pick at the solution, or you finish successfully, continue to view a solution to this challenge. Alright, so it starts with hello Bob. Hello Bob, you have 3 messages. Okay, what I need to store is the first one is pop string this will be a name. First name equal Bob. And then integer is message. There are 3 messages, so this is the value. And then we come to float. Float is Celsius 34.4. Okay, I think that is Bob. Oh, I see. Why not just I put Bob in here as the first name. First name is because first name is equal Bob. So after hello and then comma and then space, it should be Bob after that. And then you can continue. You have okay 3. We already set 3 to the message value, so we can just put message this as an input integer. After that we can continue after the message. Don't forget space. Oh, not capital. Okay. In your inbox, the temperature is okay. We can see here the cells. It's Celsius. It will replace. I mean, the Celsius will result 34.4 in the display. Just let's see. I think this is very inefficient because it has a lot of console write for just one line. I think I can just make it simpler. Celsius. Wait, leader of type double cannot. Oh, I forgot the suffix, sorry. Hello Bob, you have 3 messages in your inbox. The temperature is 3. Yes, it's correct. 3 messages in your inbox. The temperature is 34.4 Celsius. But it's very inefficient because it has so many console write. It's about 7 console write. Can I just do like this? Will it work like this? What about plus? I don't know. I don't know the syntax in C# for. Oh, okay. It's so they use plus. I see. They use plus. So we don't need this anymore. We can just copy, and then if I want to make it simpler, just copy this and then replace pop 3 and 34.4 to the variables that is in the question. Like pop should be wait. I mean, I can do it like this. Why I cannot scroll this to the left? Oh yeah, I can just enter it. Hello Bob, you have 3 messages in your inbox. The temperature is 34.4 Celsius. So this line, this one is the simpler console write. So I don't have to put many console write until 7 like I did before. It's way more efficient than just put many console write. I know the result will be the same, but your way, it's not clean code. It's very messy, and I don't like to see messy code, or I can say spaghetti. What if I do the plus like this without space? What will happen? Will it work? Oh, exactly the same work. It's still work. Okay, let's continue. Review the solution. The following code is one possible solution for the challenge from the previous units. Okay, let's see my previous code. I think I did the same, but the only difference is the variable name. I use first name, he use message, I use message without s, the temperature, the Celsius, but it's exactly the same output. The hello, okay, there is space here, name, you have message in your inbox, the temperature is temperature Celsius. Yes, exactly the same, just different of the variable. It doesn't matter anyway. This code is just one possible solution of how to create the output. For example, it's possible you could have used more console write statements. However, you should have initialized 3 variables to store the 3 values per instruction in the challenge. Furthermore, you should have used a variable of type string to hold the name pop, a variable of type int to store the number of messages, yes, a variable of type decimal float or double to store the temperature. If you are successful, congratulations, continue to the knowledge check in the next unit. If you had trouble completing this challenge, maybe you should review the previous units before you continue. Let's continue to the knowledge check. The first question, which of the following variables names should or must be avoided? I think this one, because it starts with dollar, and I read in the first or second unit you are not allowed to begin with first dollar as a value or variable. You can use dollar in a value but not variable. In variable you should be using like camel case concept. So this one is true, this one is true, but this is obviously wrong because of the dollar. The second one, what is the problem with this line of code? Variable message. For isn't data type. For is data type like 5 in 1. It doesn't matter. Use of for keyword without initializing the variable. Okay, because the message is still unassigned. That's the problem. The third one, a variable name message should always be a string. No, a message can be an integer, because it depends how you set the value. If you set the value to 3 or true or false, that means it will become integer or boolean. It's not always be the string. Since you read message, you see message is like string, yeah, but actually not. This is just a variable. We see this variable is data types that 5 in 1 or all in one, that any data types can be put in until you set a value, until you set the first value. That will be the data types. Okay, I think this one will be true. Which of the following is the output of console write line 34.40M? Not obviously this one. This one is, or this one. 0 will not be counted, I think, but I don't know how programming output will work. But in mathematics, this is the correct one, because you will skip the 0. 0 will be not read in the mathematics, will not be written in mathematics, just ignore it. So I think this is my best choice. Okay, which of the following lines of code creates a variable correctly? Integer x equal 12.3, decimal equal, it's false, boolean bool x equal false. Decimal, but why there is a space here? Why this have no space, but in this one have a space? I still have no clue, but I think the correct variable one is decimal, because there is m in here. Integer should not have m here. Integer don't have any suffix, just like double, and integer don't have fractional decimal here, so there should be no dot and m suffix. Only decimal is the correct answer. So yeah, wait, in mathematics this one is the correct one. Incorrect, using the decimal literal m print number that includes value after decimal point. Correct, using the decimal literal m denotes a decimal. So this is, so the programming have different syntax, different output, different concepts. Unlike mathematics, which you stop in here, this will be skipped, the 0 1, but in programming it will be counted because you stop here, you stop until m, because of this, using this. Okay, let's restart. I want to do it again until it's correct. Okay, let's go to the summary. Your goal was to display a formatted message using a combination of literal and variable values. Wait. Using basic C# syntax, you create literal values of several different data types. You declare variables and also set and retrieve values from those variables. And you also initialize variables and learn how to use the var keywords to implicitly type a variable by inferring the type from the initialization. Get a free verified certification. Microsoft and FreeCode offer a training certificate combo on foundation. Completing this learn module, you are already started. Explore FreeCode Camp Foundational C# with Microsoft certification here. Okay, so I complete this module. Yes, sir, I have finished this. Finally, let's go to the FreeCode Camp to finish this one. Which of the following lines of code creates a variable correctly? This, obviously this one. Yes. Okay, I think I have reached this one, and the duration of this video is 2 hours. It's very long duration, but I'm happy with it because it's purely for my progression, and I hope it will motivate you guys. Let's just do it together, let's progress together, and so we will become an expert in our skill. Okay, until now, until then, I'm saying goodbye. Bye bye.